My role when I'm a wife is to be a wife, and I do wifely things. If I'm
Okay,
dating,
what's a
How do
wifely-
you expect a man to marry you if you cannot pull your weight when you are a girlfriend?
He got to see a wife and a girlfriend. If he can't see a wife and a girlfriend, he not gonna wife
what
it.
does my money have to do with being a wife?
You
said-
carrying your weight financially in a relationship.
If we are individuals, then we are individually paying for everything when we are
But when you're
dating.
in a relationship, you become one.
When I'm married, we become one. I don't
But
become.
how is someone gonna marry you if you cannot prove that you can pull our weight?
Hi, I'm Faith.
Kaya,
Hey, I'm Nia.
and welcome to A Time Like This.
We're three young women with different backgrounds who have a common interest in life.
We may not have it all figured out, but who the heck does?
It may get a little bumpy along the way, but just sit back, relax, and catch a vibe.
Hi guys.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back.
To episode 5.
Episode 5, guys. Oh yeah, we misspoke last time and said that that was our last episode. But
Oh, yeah.
the next episode will be
yeah.
our last
We have
episode.
one off.
6
this
episodes a
one.
season.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
But here we are again, back at it.
I know.
Yeah.
Getting better. So, what's good, sis? How's your week's been?
Well, let's see. How has my week been? Better. I'm not as tired as I was last week. I feel like I've caught up on some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I feel like I've been going through a slight, not existential crisis, but like quarter life crisis.
how?
Just trying to figure things out. You know, I'm graduating and I feel like my plans are changing. I was telling Kaya this. Like, I had all these set plans and now I'm like, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
You know?
It be like
so,
that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But I'm figuring it out.
For someone who graduated already, be like
Oh my
that.
god. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. It'll all come together. So we'll see. We'll see where this journey that I'm on right now, where it takes me.
No matter what, you'll succeed.
Yeah. Wait, when do you graduate? But like, I actually just
On the 5th.
Yeah. May 5th. Yeah.
Okay. All
Better
right.
get your calendar right, girl.
Girl, is the time just passing? When is that? 2 weeks from now?
No, yeah, kind of.
Like a week and a half. 2
Oh.
weeks, basically. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well,
What's up with you, Nia?
I really didn't even do that much this weekend. I'm not even gonna lie. I just went to work, and then I dyed my hair. If you guys can't tell,
Cute.
show my roots off. Then I went to a game night, played LCR, which is wait. Do y'all know what LCR is? I know you know it. You don't know what LCR is? We played it.
What is that?
Wow. We played LCR. It's like left, right, center. It's a game. And we play with money, but
Oh, I didn't play. That's why.
oh yeah, you didn't play, but people play with chips, you know. Roll the dice.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain it too much because this ain't no promotion type stuff, but
Oh my gosh.
you know,
Talk like this.
if y'all interested in LCR, you know, look it up. It's a really fun game.
That's all for your week.
I ain't really do much.
Yeah, I didn't really either. What about you?
My week was pretty chilled. What did I do? Not much. Oh, I had like a little soaking session.
Soaking section.
Yeah,
Like a bath?
session. Yeah,
What's that
like a
session?
bath session. Was just soaking and moisturizing in the great. Oh, I braided my hair yesterday.
Cute. You braided your own hair?
Yeah,
You know,
doesn't
she's
look
Kaya,
that
stylist.
cute, but
Okay.
it's alright. But yeah, that was basically my week. I didn't do much. I'm trying to convince my mom to come here this summer. So we just gonna pray for her because you know she is the queen of excuses. But
It's funny that you said soaking session because I was thinking about giving y'all like a self-care basket.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not really good with gifts because I always say it before I give it, but you know.
You
clearly.
get too excited.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's hop into
get
it.
into
Yeah.
this.
what's on your
So,
mind, sis?
What's on my mind? Did you guys hear my drum roll?
Girl.
That's my thighs. Okay, look at my little diary. Play
Cute.
jealous. Today's topic is gender roles.
Okay.
Okay, so I brought this topic up because Nia and myself and Nia's boyfriend went to surprise Faith at her restaurant, and we kind of brought up this topic.
Oh, that's what y'all were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you know, Nia was saying some things, and I wasn't agreeing with her. So that's why I thought this is a really good topic to bring up. Also, we kind of like touched on it last week, so I feel like we need to elaborate.
Even
And
though I
need
was
to-
right.
This girl,
I'm dead.
and I need to hear you guys' opinions on it. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you what gender roles are. So, a gender role is a social role encompassing a range of behaviors and attitudes that are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, or dishonorable for a person based on their gender. Everybody understood it?
You should put that in your own words because the definition on Google be too wordy.
I mean, it's pretty clear. That one was pretty clear. I'll give you examples of traditional gender roles. For girls or women, gender role, for a lady or for a woman, oh Lord Jesus, for a girl or for a woman, traditionally, expected of you is to dress appropriately, or speak appropriately, or be polite, or be feminine, or be nurturing. For men, which Nia, I hope you're listening to this one.
And listening.
Traditional gender roles for men.
I'm sorry, the tongue pop is taking me out.
I'm sorry.
They gonna hear it be like, dang, is that in the background?
Traditional gender roles for men is the man needs to be strong, he needs to be a provider, and he needs to be brave.
I like that. That's three simple things. You named the whole list, a whole freaking alphabet for women.
Dang, we didn't even get into it yet. Hold on.
Yes. Okay. So the first question I have for you two today is,
Girl,
what is your opinion on gender roles? Let's start with Faith, since I'm staring at you already.
Ooh, child. First of all, when I was preparing for this, I realized I'm actually a lot more conflicted on this issue than I even realized prior to this. What is my opinion on gender roles? The thing that's making me conflicted is I don't know how much of this is actually biological and how much of this is we've learned from society.
Okay.
So my opinion is just, in terms of relationships, I think you just have to figure out what works for you. That's my opinion. Each relationship is different, and I think you have to play to each other's strengths. But I think it becomes more of an issue if you get too caught up in like, you have to be doing this because you're a man, and you have to be doing this because you're a woman. Even though I do think that there are some things that are inherent to men and women. So it's
What?
Like protecting. Like if I hear a thump in the night, I'm not going down there. That's you. That's you. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
What about you, Nia? What do you think?
Well, what do I think? Dang, what do I think? Well, I don't know, like...
Yeah, you gave me a whole mouthful last week, so
Right.
come on out.
You was ready.
The definition textbook that you just read, and, the examples that you gave, I feel like
You believe in them, you stand by them.
I believe in it. I do stand by it. I mean, like, it's like, how can I put this? Even though society made those rules, I guess, or just like came up, I don't know, whatever. Even if they didn't, I probably would still feel that way. I don't know, just because like men are like born with different, well, I don't want to say different abilities because women can obviously work out enough to be as big as a man, but like they're just born with the body of a dang guard or something like that. And I don't know, I just feel like it just shows like, I don't know, I just think it's sexy when a man acts like a man. I don't know how to explain it.
Wait,
man.
so you agree with traditional gender roles? Okay.
That's what I'm getting. Okay,
agree.
and so Faith, you kind of touched on this when you said genetically, some things are just in us. And so my next question was going to be, do you think that sometimes the way we are raised affects our gender roles? We'll start with Nia.
Yeah, I do. I feel like men or women, like women born in a household with just a man, not their mother, they're not raised to act like their dad, but since they're around their dad and a man so much and they don't have a woman figure in their life, then they're just raised as a man, slick. Like they're raised to be tough and fight for themselves. And I'm not saying like if you're born in a woman household or in a household with a mom, you're not raised to protect yourself and all that stuff. But like when you're born with your dad, you just learn it even more, I guess. And then when a young man is born in a house with or raised in a house with a woman, they're a little bit more, I don't want to say feminine, but they're like more
Understanding to women's feelings.
no, they're more like
Softer?
softer a little bit. I don't want to say softer. I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but like
softer.
not softer, but just like they don't just, I don't know. It's different.
So let me ask you this. Since you say that men that are raised in a female household without a father is generally a little bit more softer or feminine, do you think that women, because both you and I were just girls raised with just mothers, do you think that we harder, that we're stronger, or more able to do manly things or masculine things?
Yes. I don't know. I feel like when women get in that position, they just know both roles when it comes to raising other women, but when it comes to raising men, they don't know how to fully raise, a man. So I feel like when you're in a household and you have your mom and you have, your daughter or whatever, I feel like they just, God dang, they just know what to do. They just, I don't know. I just feel like the moms know what to do when it comes to raising their young, their daughter. Why am I?
Because it's easier to relate to them.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Like a woman, she can teach her if she know how to shave her face or whatever. She can teach a man how to shave her face, but like if she don't know what to do, like it's like certain stuff you can't teach a man if you're a woman, like because you just don't have experience with it. Certain stuff you can't talk to with your son because you don't have experience. Just like when you have your dad, some things, especially a dad raising his daughter, he don't know a lot of things about her, even unless he looks it up and reads and stuff. But if he doesn't do that type of research, he don't know a lot of stuff of how to raise her. So they just come out a little different than compared to a woman with a daughter and in both households or whatever. Mom and dad.
Yeah, I see. I understand what you're saying. What about you, Faith? What do you think about the situation?
Do I think the way you're raised affects how you view gender roles or how you move
How you
in
are,
How
that?
you
yeah.
move in that? Yeah.
Yes, I do think that. I mean, I think how you're raised is where you're going to formulate those ideas of what you think a woman or a man should be. I think what you're seeing in your household, like between your parents, will affect that as well. Like if my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so for me, I always viewed it like, oh, a woman is supposed to cater to the man and do this. I mean, you could view it that way, or you could say, I don't want to do that, because a part of me also felt like that's a lot. Like, I feel like, let me get my thoughts together.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah. Yes, yes, I think it affects it. I'm trying to like make it specific, like a specific example other than just saying yes, but I don't know. I have to think about this.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
We can come back to that. For me, I feel like it can affect you in a way, but at the same time, I also feel that you can learn certain things. Like if you say, oh, a man has to be handy, a woman can also learn to be handy. That is not just taught by gender or by a role of a father or a mother. That is just taught by interest. If you feel that you need to take that on, then you take that on. Like you can't expect a man to do it and you can't expect a woman to do it. So that's how I feel about it. In certain cases, it can be affected, but in other circumstances, you just have to learn it yourself.
I mean, well, if you don't see it being done, you don't even think about it. So it's like you can, I don't know, like if you see it one time, you can take some interest because you're like, oh, that's interesting or whatever. But if you just don't see, like if my mom never like did any handiwork or did anything for herself, I probably wouldn't either, just because I didn't see it being done and I just didn't worry about it. It always got fixed somehow. I would just think, hey, hey, come over here, fix my thing real quick because I don't know how to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it because I didn't see people doing it. I don't know. It's like when you're that young, you just copy off of what people do. I mean, if I'm older, of course, I may put some work in, but when I'm a child, if I don't see it be done, I'm not going to do it.
But yeah, that's why, like when Faith said that, when she saw her mother, it could come across as, oh yeah, a man needs to do everything, but it was also like, that's a lot of work. Like, I'm not about to do that for a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, even though you don't see it as a child, to a certain extent, you can learn it. Like, you can learn to step in ways that you were never taught. So, I think it's just learning and being willing to learn and do things for yourself.
But I do agree that women that tend to be raised by single mothers are often a little bit more masculine because you've seen a woman have to do everything. And then I think it's the same for men as well. Men, because you're never going to, like you said, fully understand. I can't teach a man how to be a man because I'm never going to fully understand that, and vice versa. So yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I totally agree with you guys, but I also feel like certain things you need to take upon yourself and learn.
I mean, as you get older, that will happen, but when you're just young, you're just not going to do it.
I also think you don't know what you don't know. Like a lot of masculine women don't realize that they're masculine. They'll be like, "Oh, what they define as femininity or think is feminine, it's
just who they are. They're so used to it, they don't see it.
Or it's that I don't know how to describe.
It's a tough way to discuss it. I mean, tough topic to discuss.
Yes, because I also think there's like what exactly does it mean to be feminine? Like that can look at so many different ways. What does it mean to be a masculine man? So that's why this is like so. I think that's a different conversation from gender roles.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but no. But at the same time, I feel like, things have evolved so much that there is no such thing as tradition, really. Like there's no such thing as a traditional woman and a traditional man, like
times have changed.
Yeah,
so much,
men are gonna be soft and women are gonna be strong, and that's fine. Just have to accept it. But moving on.
Because I was gonna say something.
No, do you want to say something?
I mean, I feel like times are different, but there is still that tradition. A lot of people, even if you don't do it, they believe in it. Oh, I don't want to say believe because they still think about it. It's still in the back of their minds of what a woman should do and what a man should do. Not saying that they have to do it or that they do it, but it's in the back of their mind of like what society has created.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that because, when I was researching on this topic, a lot of what I saw was that sometimes it's hard to step out of what's tradition because it's so embedded in you. Like, it's kind of like a wedding, for example. Every girl dreams of a big white wedding, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's not everybody's happiness, but it's so embedded in us. Like, tradition is deep inside of us that it's hard to, like, forget.
Right.
So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Just like we got to go to school for, 12 years?
Yeah.
Plus college? We don't have to do that. We can start in like middle school. Why do we have to start in elementary school?
I don't know about it
right
now.
I don't know about that
one now. I don't know, Nia. That one's a little bit different.
I know.
Okay, so moving on, away from the household part, let's talk about gender roles in relationships. So, do you guys feel that? Okay, here's a quick scenario, right? Nia, you're in a relationship. In your relationship, let's say you made, I don't know, more money than your husband or your boyfriend or whatever, and you guys live together. Do you feel that you need to cover more expenses than him, or do you think he needs to take over more, or do you think that you guys should come in 50-50?
So what's the incomes? It depends on the income. So give me an example of an income between the two of us.
I mean, you just make more than them. More can be $10 more because $10 can go a long way. So just in general, if you make more than your man, do you think that you should carry more weight?
So
I think the amount does matter.
Yeah,
though, because if you're making $200,000 and he's making $50,000, then obviously you're gonna have to take on more, as opposed to you're making 50 and you're making 60. That makes a difference.
Personally, for me, I feel like if you're making just $10 more than me, $10 goes a long way. No, I mean in my case, I shop cheaply, but how do I explain this? Okay, so
I know what you mean. So if I am making that $10 more, then I think it should be a 50-50. But if we're both like way up in income, but I'm making like just slightly, just a lot more, then maybe I can pay a little bit more, but it's still going to be a problem for me. So at some point you got to come either to where I am or ahead of me.
Why?
Because I feel like, first of all, I'm cheap, even though I like going out and buying stuff every week. I'm cheap, and it would be nice to have a man, just buy something. I'm pointing to you because of the sandals, but it would be nice to have a man, pay those expenses for me instead of me having to do it myself. You know, I'll do it to you the same, but like I want it to be done to me as well. Like if I want to get my nails done, if I want to call you and be like, hey, Teddy Kitty.
Nia.
If I want to be like, hey, can you give me some money to pay for my nails? Even though I have the money, but I want to be able to call you and be like, hey, can you give me the money to pay for my nails? I don't want to be like where I'm paying more. If I'm in a situation where I feel like, you know, I'm paying more I'm paying more than him, I'm not going to feel comfortable calling him and asking him, can you pay for my nails? I'm going to just do it myself because I just feel like, you know, since I'm getting more, I guess, I just have to do it. I don't want to burden you or whatever. So, I don't know. 50-50 to an extent.
So basically what you're saying is no.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I also feel like you're saying no because I feel like
if I'm saying like if we're getting paid around the same, then it's 50-50. If I'm getting paid more, I'll pay for you, but it has to either go to 50-50 or you have to pay for me at some point.
Okay, let me ask you this quickly, right? Do you think that if your partner was like established and happy in his role, in his business, in his job, and he never ever goes over that 50, do you think you would end the relationship?
No, because you either have to go to 50-50 or you have to go to above 50-50. So you can go at 50-50 and stop. But, you know, if you want to go above 50-50, that'd be cool too. You just can't go under 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what I was saying to Nia was if your partner worked hard to get to where he is right now, because Nia keeps mentioning the fact that he either needs to be above that 50% or be at that 50%. But it seems to me like, no, he needs to be above 50%.
Are you saying that eventually you would want him to be financially able to take on more of the responsibility? You don't want to be 50-50 for your whole life, basically?
I don't mind being 50-50 for, you know, my whole life. But if I'm the one starting off being over and going above 50-50, then eventually if we go to 50-50 and you get to that point where you're above 50-50, I'm going to expect it in return, you know, a little bit. Like maybe some months it's, what is it? I'm not good at math. Maybe some months it's 60-40, then another month 50-50. Then 60-40, 50-50. And we can go back and forth. I can be the one that's providing more one month and you can be providing more. I'm not trying to separate it in months, but like it doesn't have to like, it can like fluctuate. It doesn't have to like stay at the same.
What if you're making significantly more than him?
If I'm making
200,000 and he makes 60,000. Would you still be doing 50-50?
That's a big difference.
Yeah. Say he's a high school teacher. He makes 60,000
and
a year.
that's what I was about to say. Your job will always determine, even if you're the principal at your school, you're never gonna make as much as a lawyer. You know what I mean?
I mean, like if I'm in a relationship, and relationships are all about building individually and together. So if I'm in a relationship and I'm making 200,000 and you making 60, at some point I'm gonna get you to where I am. I'm not gonna just let you stay at 60,000 because like money, they say money doesn't buy happiness, but money literally is freaking happiness in this world. To me, like if you have money, you're like
being
free.
a high school teacher. What if he loves his job?
You know, we gonna have to go to the principal or somebody. We gonna have to negotiate a new salary, or we gonna.
But you can't do that because there's laws and that you need to. You can't. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, Faith's a PE teacher and Kaya's a science teacher," and just because I feel that my husband needs to be paid more, now Faith's gonna get paid more. Do you know what I mean? Like there's rules that need to be followed.
But if you have certain degrees, you can get paid a little bit more.
Well, basically, the answer is no. You don't want to be in a
I
relationship.
feel like the answer is no, Nia.
Where I'm paying more?
Yes.
Yeah, that's no.
Okay, so
all this back and forth. All this back and forth. But anyway, what do you? Yeah. How do you feel, Faith?
Okay. I think it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. When it comes to if I'm married to someone and I'm making more, I'm more concerned with if he's happy in his role, if he feels like he's working in his sense of purpose. Because what I don't want is to be living with a man who's unhappy with his job. Because I've seen that where a man is making a significant amount of money, but he doesn't feel like he's living in his purpose. So he hates it. Mm-hmm. And I can't live with that, you know, but I do think it shouldn't be a problem. And I wouldn't emasculate him or make him feel bad because he makes less than me. But I do think it's difficult because men are so conditioned to equate their value with how much they make that it would become a problem. I think it would take a rare type of man to be in that type of relationship. So on average, it would be difficult. I'd have to find like a really special kind of man, but it's not that I would have a problem making more. If I'm in a field that I just happen to be working in the type of field that makes more money, then it is what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a problem for you, then it's going to be a problem for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. But what was that even the specific question?
That was the question.
Okay, yeah.
That was the question. Okay, so for me, I mean, it's no secret that the person that I'm currently with makes more money than me. That's obviously obvious. So this is how I feel about the situation, right? Because of the situation now that I'm in right now, I feel like whatever I can do for myself, I'm going to do for myself. I'm never going to ask you unless you choose to do it for me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, for example, if we're going on vacation and the flights are like, I don't know, $50. As much as I make less than you, it is in my budget to spend that $50 for both of our flights, right? So technically what I'm saying is that to a certain extent, I'm still going to meet you halfway, even though you make way more money than me, because we both in this relationship and we both need to pull our weight. Yes, there are certain things like household bills that I will never be able to meet at this point in my life. So yes, you have to pay for those bills. Mm-hmm. But there are other scenarios or situations where I can afford to carry most of the weight, and so I will do that. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I feel about it. I feel like no matter what, no matter how much more money you make than me, there are gonna be certain situations where I can pull more weight than you and you can pull more weight than me. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel like we are 50-50. That's my take.
So in that, if you're saying that's 50-50, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie.
So if you were making significantly more than your partner, you would be okay. I mean, if you are making 200,000, he's making 60, you're going to have to take on more of the financial responsibility. Yeah. And you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's depending on what all y'all want to do. Like if we live in an apartment, depending on our income, I'm not going to get a place that is out of both of our ranges, because to me that's selfish. If we're getting a place, I'm going to put it in probably the lowest person's range. But it's still gonna be a nice place.
I would also do that. That makes sense.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, if something happens,
it falls on you.
Yeah, it falls on me, and then if something happens to me, then where?
But what if the roles were reversed? If he was making 200,000 and you were making 50, you would
I'm still
want to
put
live
it in
my
my
50,000 apartment?
Yes, it's not gonna be.
I don't believe that.
It's not gonna be ugly. I'm not gonna get no ugly place. I'm gonna get something that feels like homey to me. And there's a lot of places
you would downsize your life just because you're making 50,000, but your partner's making $200,000.
You would live in downsizing my life.
I don't believe
because
that.
it's still living in your means.
That's
it's living in my means. It's still living in a nice place. You act like places aren't nice.
$50,000 for a two. You have children.
Oh wait, look, you didn't
say the children.
Okay. So let's just say you're married and you have a family. It's two of you and two children. Your husband makes 50,000. You make 200,000. What are you doing?
That's a little bit different because you're adding multiple bodies in that. If that's the case, then it's probably gonna fall a little bit on me, but at the same time, I can still depend on him to help out with the children. Like I'm gonna help out with big expenses, but he gonna help out with the children with his income. So
I understand where Nia's coming. Like, let's raise the kids, okay? Because none of us have kids here,
right?
So let's raise the kids. I honestly feel that.
But you're married.
Okay, if we were married and we didn't have kids, I would still try. I would tell my partner that I think it would be most comfortable for us to live slightly above my means.
Yeah.
Because if we don't work out, if we get divorced, I have to look after myself. Do you know what I mean? And then everything that I was used to or spoiled by is now taken away from me.
Yeah.
And I can't get that back unless I work hard to get it. And you can't just... As much as you can work hard, you can't just get that same lifestyle overnight. So I totally understand where Nia's coming from.
Yeah, but if you're making $200,000, you would want to live as if you were making 50,000. That doesn't make any
You're
sense
living
to
comfortable.
me.
I'm not saying like
50,000, but you're making. What are you doing with that other $100,000,
I'm spending it on us.
$200,000?
The rest of the money I'm spending on
That's
us.
a waste of money.
I'm just finding a place to stay in a car. I don't need to be fancy. Like, I want a nice car, but I don't need a fancy car and a fancy house to be happy. You know what I'm saying? The other money is stuff that will make us actually happy. Like, if I'm spending more in a relationship already, then I'm gonna spend the rest of it on stuff that will make us happy. Go on trips, do all this other stuff. I'm not gonna spend it on a place to stay. Like, $50,000 houses. They're not.
That's in the ghetto.
Yeah, that is like.
I'm not say houses.
Very
$50
ghetto-y.
thousand apartments and townhouses are a little bit nice. I'm not gonna put it right at my range or right at our range or whatever, like the lowest range. I'm gonna put it somewhere in the middle-ish, where I feel like if anything happens to me, if I was making the lowest amount, if anything happens to me, I'm straight. Like Kai said, if anything happens to him, he's straight.
I think that's what Nia's like thing is. I think that's what she's trying to say is that yes, even if we love in his means, like, you know, that he can afford, that's nice. Like, she's not saying that she's gonna be like, oh hell no, we're not gonna do that. But what she's trying to say is that she would rather love closer to her means, so that if anything happened, she can fall back on herself. And I totally agree with that.
But what about your partner?
He already got money.
What I'm saying is, you guys are married, so you're making this. That's on you. You're making that decision for yourself. But if you have
I'm not making it just for myself. Of course I'm going to talk to him, depending on our means. I'm going to talk to him and ask him how he feels about it. If he feels a different type of way, we can come to a compromise, you know. But my first idea to throw out there would be live on the cheapest income. I'm not cheapest income, the lowest income, just so, like, you know.
But the beauty of being married is now that you have combined incomes. You don't have to live off of one person's income.
That is also true.
I'm having a hard time believing that if you were making $200,000, you would live as if you were only making $50,000-$60,000. That doesn't really make sense to me, because where is that other $150,000 going?
Going on vacation.
Happiness.
Going on vacation.
Different things. Like,
you would blow $150,000 just so that you can live. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Living comfortably looks different to a lot of different people. Like,
that is also true. You know, like, your comfort might not be my comfort. My comfort might not be your comfort.
But also,
I don't have to have like a 4-bed, 3-bed household to be comfortable in my house.
Like, for example, for me, like, I would rather buy cheap clothes than buy expensive clothes.
Right. I don't have to have name brand to
and
to
I
be
can
happy.
still look just as nice as someone that has expensive clothes. So I think just different.
I'm not saying you have to
opinions.
ball out. Like, 200,000, first of all, is really not that much.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's just the concept of living on that lower end that I'm not really believing.
Not lower end. It's just like,
Because I can't see that. If I'm making $200,000, we're getting what we can afford. Our incomes are combined.
I guess
why
it's
would
different
I
if
live?
you're married.
Yeah, why would I
different if
say,
you're
well,
so you added,
because
first it went from boyfriend, then it went from kids, and it went to marriage. See, we
for me, it's
talking about different
marriage.
things.
Because if we're not married, you're not touching my money, period.
Yeah.
We have no
Hey,
combined.
see, now let's get into
See, we
that.
weren't touching money at first. It was separate incomes. Then you brought marriage in, which made it together.
Okay, I even closed my little book over here. But let's get into, because that was one of my things. Like, if you're not married to the person, how would you share your money?
I wouldn't.
Okay, what if you were with this person for like 5 years?
I wouldn't be dating someone for 5 years without getting married.
Okay, what about 2 years?
We're still not touching. And for me, if I'm dating someone, we are individuals. Our monies are not combined.
What do you mean
period.
touching money? Like, what do you mean by that?
That you have your money, you have your career, your bank account. I have my money, my career, my
So you're not
bank
spending
account.
nothing on him the whole
Gifts,
2 years.
Gifts, sure, gifts.
What about
So,
trips?
yeah, would you pay for his trip?
We're not.
You're not going on trips in 2 years?
We could take trips together, I guess.
Would
but,
you pay for his trip?
No, we can share it if we're going on a trip. No.
Okay, and this let's go back to my plane ticket example, right? If you could afford a plane ticket for both of you, you wouldn't pay for his trip.
And he paid for the rest.
Yeah,
the rest
let's
of the
say he
trip.
paid for the rest of it. You would just pay for your flight, and he would still have to see for his flight after he paid for the hotel.
If we're dating,
Yes.
I'm not staying in a hotel with him if we're dating. We're not doing that.
Okay, so it's
That's what I'm saying.
mindsets.
That's what I'm saying. For me, if we're dating, we are individuals. And I personally wouldn't go on a vacation alone with him.
Even after 2 years, Faith?
Yeah.
3 years.
I'm not dating for that long without a marriage. Okay, this is a different conversation.
No, it's the same. It's still gender roles. Because you saying...
My role when I'm a wife is to be a wife, and I do wifely things. If
Okay,
I'm dating,
what's a
How do you
wifely-
expect a man to marry you if you cannot pull your weight when you are a girlfriend?
He got to see a wife and a girlfriend. If he can't see a wife and a
Exactly.
girlfriend, he not
you-
gonna wife
what
it.
does my money have to do with being a wife?
You
said-
carrying your weight financially in a relationship.
If we are individuals, then we are individually paying for everything when we are
But when you're
dating.
in a relationship, you become one.
When I'm married, we become one. I don't
But
become.
how is someone gonna marry you if you cannot prove that you can pull our weight?
Damn, Trayvon.
You don't. I don't have to pay for you to prove to you that I can pull my weight. You
Would you
already
pay
know.
for a meal?
Sure.
But what do you mean by wife things? What do you mean by you're not going to do wife things unless you're a wife? What is wife
I
things?
mean, I'm not going on vacation with you alone. I'm
Okay.
not paying for things for you. In the same way that I don't expect you as my boyfriend to pay my bills or
What about-
to pay things because you're not my husband. That's not for.
What
you don't
about
need to do
Christmas
that.
gifts and stuff?
Well, gifts is different. We're going out to eat, dates. Sure, I'll pay for a date. Sure, we're Christmas. I'll buy you a gift. You buy me a gift. That's different. But I'm talking about in terms of like the big things financially. We have separate accounts, separate.
What are big things
things.
financially?
Like obviously, like water bills, car
Yeah,
bills,
bills,
like bills.
Oh.
those
like-
Yeah,
bills.
that's what
Which
I'm saying.
I understand. Like
Gifts and dates.
those
are a
are my
different
bills
thing.
and
mean-
whatever. But a vacation, like for me, if my partner paid for a hotel and I could afford a plane fare for both of us, I would. Do you feel the
I
same
guess
way?
my
I
point
would
is
pay
just
for.
that I wouldn't be doing that anyway. I'm not going on vacation with my boyfriend.
What
That's
if you were
I'm
making like
saying.
a lot of money? Like when I say a lot of money, what if you were
It's
making
not
like
about the money. It's the morally I
okay.
wouldn't do it. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. It is not about the money. I wouldn't be in that position anyway.
Would you go on vacation with your boyfriend for 3 years?
she said she's not dating 3 years.
if
She said
you-
married for 3.
If we're going on a group vacation
That's what
with
I was
other
about to
people,
say. And
other
would you
people
still
are
stay in the
going.
same hotel room as that person?
No.
You would spend extra money.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't. Y'all trying to have me telling all my business. Dang.
This is our podcast. You know, we have
I'm
to
trying to say. Yes, because of what I believe morally, I wouldn't put myself in that position. I wouldn't stay in the hotel with him because I'd be setting myself up for
And
failure.
I
You know what
respect
I'm
that.
saying?
I respect that. I just kind of feel like in some cases, you know, like when you date someone, not everybody dates to get
Married.
no.
What are you trying to say?
Not everybody nobody dates to get to break up, you know, just like nobody gets married to divorce. So for me, when you're dating someone, you know, you're looking at that person as your future wife or whatever. So for me, it's kind of like if there's certain things that you wouldn't do, even financially, for your partner, like how do I see you as my wife? Because
Easily, because what is a wife? It depends on what your.
Somebody
I don't
supports.
need him to pay my bills and to do those things in order for me to know that he's a husband. I can see his character. I can see the type of man he is. That's how I know he's a husband.
You don't need that,
In the
but-
same way that I don't have to cook and clean and have sex with you in order for you to know that I'm a wife. You already know that by my character.
You don't need that, but like if they don't do it at all, you're not even gonna think they're gonna do it in the future.
That's not true. I don't need you to pay for things. You've never paid for things, but I know the kind of person that you are. I know the type of friend. I don't need you.
How do you know
to
that
cook
if you've never seen it?
Because I know your character.
But their character can be.
But he doesn't. Why does he have to pay my bills in order for me to know that he's a generous?
you don't gotta
man?
pay your bills.
No, I'm not
just
saying
something
he has,
slight.
yeah, I'm not saying he has to pay for your bills. Like, even for example, like if you saying you guys are going on vacation with a group of friends, right? And you guys have 2 separate hotel rooms, and he says, I respect your wishes, and hence I will pay for your hotel room. Like, that's him doing that for you. But would you say, oh yeah, sure. Again, back to the plane ticket. The flights are cheap, so I'll just get our flights. Would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I was
See,
trying to.
you were
not
saying no
saying-
at first.
I'm saying she was like,
Well,
hell no.
because I was saying, because I was thinking of like, am I going to pay for the vacation? No, I'm not going to do that. But of course, I'm not unreasonable. If you're paying for something, that's why I say dates, gifts. Of course, I'll pay for a date. I'll pay for a gift. I'll buy. I'm not stingy. It's just that I'm not stingy. I'm just saying I'm not going to I'm not going to go above and beyond for things that I feel like are not my responsibility, in the same way that I don't expect him to do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last question, because we kind of have to wrap today up, guys. What did I want to say? Okay, so, you know, gifting comes in many different ways. Would you take your partner on a vacation? No.
My husband, yeah. Yes. Why would I be taking my boyfriend on vacation?
It's a gift.
But I'm saying you guys are not grasping that I would not do
No,
it for myself in that
I'm
position.
really
Yes.
trying to understand, because for me it's totally different. Like, you guys know that for me, gift giving is like my love. So if I take you on vacation, that is me showing you that I love you and I care for you. So if you come to me and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that, I'll be like, okay, bye. Because as much as
But
this is who I
want
am,
him. If first of all, if I'm dating someone, we're of the same mindset. I'm dating someone that also has similar values to mine. So I wouldn't be with someone, if I'm dating someone, they're already going to understand that we're not going to put ourselves in that position. So that's not even a that wouldn't be a thing.
Debate.
Yeah, he wouldn't be like, you're not taking me on vacation even though we're not married. Like, that wouldn't be a thing because we both are of the same values. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, sometimes men be lying to get in your pants.
Well, after a year, 2 years of Hugh, you're going to figure it out. At that point, you're going to know.
Well, I mean, I know that Faith, won't date longer than 2 seconds. If you're not gonna engage, if you're not gonna propose to Faith, don't go to Faith, okay? But that really shook me.
Yeah, sick. I was like,
What shook me? It really did shake me. Because
Okay.
I mean, no, I'm being honestly, like, I am the type of partner that, even if it's not in my means, if I can see that you really, really need it, even if we're dating, right, I'm going to try my best to help you. Like,
Same.
that's just how I am. And obviously it's different for everybody.
I'm not saying, you guys are making it sound like if he really needed something, I'd be like,
No,
'cause
no,
you're not
girl,
my
you made it
husband.
seem like
No,
that.
So
that's not what I'm saying.
You're
Yeah.
saying needs. We're saying stuff like wants.
Yeah, I'm saying, well, of course, if I'm dating someone and if they needed help, like even if like they needed new brake pads or something and maybe they couldn't afford it, of course you're my boyfriend and I'll help you. But my point is that you are not paying, oh, can you pay my rent this month? Can you pay my bills? I don't expect you to do that as my boyfriend. If you would like to do those things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm so rigid in it, but the point is that I do not have that expectation from my partner because you're just my boyfriend.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm saying.
I get that part.
Yeah.
Like, I also don't expect my partner to pay for anything bill related.
Bowl.
Like bill
Oh, Bill.
bill related. Like car or anything like that. But outside of that, I would take him on vacation and do.
I will take my husband on vacation.
Okay, we know that because
Yes.
you said it a million times.
I will.
I mean,
My husband, there's no sort of, that's different. There's no boundaries there. We'll do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in dating, I wouldn't do that.
Next season we need to get callers and be like, let's get this caller in and see what this call. Because I feel like I need a guy's opinion on
There are
what.
men that would do that. You don't think that there are men that would
No,
like it?
I totally understand. I mean, again, everybody has their own preference. Everybody is different. That's why I'm not judging you. I am just shook. Yeah, I get shook,
Shook
every
that I
now-
wouldn't pay for the vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, not the whole. I wouldn't. I mean, unless it depends on how much I'm making. If I'm making a lot of money, I'll pay for the whole vacation.
it's
If I'm
not-
not making that much, I'm not gonna pay for the whole vacation. Probably like snippets of it, like the plane ticket, and maybe some restaurants.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
you're caught up on the fact that I wouldn't pay. It's not about me not wanting to pay. It's about me not wanting to do that in the first place. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can totally shook about it.
Oh, that's what you're shook about? I thought you were shook about me not wanting to pay.
No.
Oh.
I mean, if it's my boyfriend and we're not living together, no. If we're not living together, because I'm saying it's my boyfriend. No. If it's my boyfriend, we're not living together, I'm not going to expect him to pay my bills. But we've living together. If you're, if we're living together, we're driving the same car, we're going to have to like go 50-50.
That's another thing. So, if you and your boyfriend had separate houses, right? But you were at his house like 7 days out of the week, would you or do you think that you need to contribute for groceries every now and again?
Yeah, groceries, yeah.
Yes. Do you agree to that, Faith?
Again, I wouldn't be there 7 days a week.
You see, Faith, I'm not trying to like attack you or anything, but I don't think that you've been in a relationship like that yet.
I have.
Okay, so for me, right, I was just like you. Like, especially before I moved to America, like, when I knew I was moving to America, whatever, I told myself that, I'm not gonna be at anybody's house. And I was just always like that. Like, I was never at anybody that I was seeing's house like for 7 days a week or anything like that. Like, I never used to drive their cars. I'd always go with my own car. You know, I'd always meet somebody. I was just like that. But when I met my current person, a lot changed. You know, it was very different because especially when you meet the person you really think you're going to marry or want to marry, a lot of that changes. Like, you might think you're not going to be there 7 days a week, but you might end up there 7 days a week without you even realizing it.
Okay. The reason why I say that is because I have been in relationships and I have done that. I have gone over and spent the night or something like that. But it is not for me. I don't like it. It doesn't align with what my values are. I know people that a lot of my friends and family are already married and they did the same thing. They didn't spend the night. For me, when it comes to dating and marriage are two separate things. So when I'm dating you, the way that I'm operating as a girlfriend, I am not spending the night. I'm not cooking and cleaning for you because I'm your girlfriend. The dating stage is simply for we're talking, we're getting to know each other, we're falling in love with each other, we're seeing if we're compatible. I don't believe that I have to play house in order for you to see that I'm a wife. Damn. What a wife or a husband is to me is your character. It's who you are as a person. Do our morals and values align? That's why I say I wouldn't. It's not about me not being in love. I could love you till the cows or the rooster comes, whatever the saying is.
The cows come knocking.
Whatever. But it's about my values. It's not about how I feel about the person. And I want someone that has that similar value set as well, or value system as well, so that, they'll know where I'm coming from.
If you spend the night, you're gonna make the bed up, Faith. You've just spent one
You're not
night
gonna
out of
cook?
the week. Are you gonna spend? You're gonna make the bed
cook,
up.
Faith?
You're gonna make breakfast.
At least cook.
I'm saying like shit. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna clean.
Like,
I'm not gonna wash the
I'm a
bed.
girlfriend
Because
I'm not putting I don't want to put myself in that position where I will be spending the night, or I will, because I'm setting myself up for failure. If I know that I want a certain thing, I'm not going to put myself in that position. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if I want, I'm just putting my business out there.
Well,
I'm not saying that it's not about, I'm not cooking for you, I'm not cleaning for you because I'm not your wife. Partly it is, but in the same sense that I don't expect him to be moving like my husband. I don't expect you, like I said, to be doing certain things or catering to me in that way because you're not my husband.
Yeah.
We're going out and we're having public dates. At a certain point, yes, I may come. And that's the other thing. If you're not my all the way boyfriend, I'm not coming to your apartment again. Mm-hmm. So we're going out, we're having public dates.
You said all the way boyfriend.
Like, if it's not official, like we are dating.
If you're not my boyfriend, I'm not coming to your apartment.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, I think you guys are focused on the would you cook and clean?
No,
part
I'm not.
Of it.
I'm just asking you a lot of questions to understand. Well, okay, let me ask you one last question. Okay, if you went over there, like if he cooked or even ordered food and it was just, I don't know, during the day, and you were there during the day, would you clean up that meal during the day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I was about to say,
it's not. Of course, we can cook together if you want to cook something, and then I clean up whatever.
Okay.
It's
at
not
least
like
I was about to say I might have to train you because you ain't gonna get married anytime soon
Oh
if
my
you do
gosh.
not clean up.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean a little bit.
But also, I think that is an unfortunate mindset that a lot of women think that they have to do certain things in order to prove that they're a wife. You don't have to pick up a dish in order for a man to know that you're a wife.
That's not, with me, I'm in a relationship and I said it
I was
word.
about to say, you're rapping over there.
I'm in a relationship and I don't do things because I want him to look at me as a wife. I just do things just because I want to do it. I'll cook every once in a blue moon or whatever, and I'll straighten up, sometimes. But I don't do it just because I expect him. I just do it because just something I want to do.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That's how I also am. Like, I'm not cooking because I want you to marry me or cleaning because I want you to marry me. Mm-hmm. I do it because, number one, that's how I was raised. Even if I come over to your house, if I get out of the bath, I'm gonna say, do you have something that I can wash the bath with? Because that's how I was raised. Yeah. So I'm not doing it to impress you. Hell no, I don't want to impress you. Like, if you want to be with me, like you said, it's more about our morals and who we are as people. So it's just, how I was raised, and that's why I'm gonna do it. If you come over to my house, I'm gonna cook for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying if we eat, I'm gonna leave the
you're
dishes in the sink. And
I know,
be like,
but I'm just
not your
saying,
wife.
like, it's not. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to prove myself to you.
Yeah.
I'm doing it
Something
because
I do.
it's who I am.
No, I was just saying, like, I know that there are a lot of girls who do put themselves in that position, trying to play wifey so that they could see them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I think a lot of men have that immature mindset of like, she's wifey if she cooks and cleans, if she does this. And there are women that will cook, clean, work out 7 days a week, looking not a cellulite, okay? And they will still cheat on you when you leave out of town. So it has nothing.
It's not even about cheating. It's about even if that man doesn't cheat on you, you know.
No, I'm saying the woman. I'm saying a lot of men have that immature mindset. Even the woman will be perfect, but she'll still cheat on you because you never looked at her character. And that's what makes a good partner. It has nothing to do with those domestic things.
Yeah. I mean, even if she doesn't cheat on you, she's definitely unhappy because that's not who she is as a person.
No, I'm just saying that you're focused on the wrong thing. It's
I'm
about
saying.
the person's character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if she does it to impress you, that's not who she is, you know? That's not who she is. Like, for me, it's normal for me to cook for you and clean for you because that's who I am. But if it wasn't who I was, I would be so unhappy. Like, marry you and then cook and clean every night, and that's not who I am. Oh, Jesus. How come it's so sad?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't cook that much. You know, I just strain them sometimes. But like, I understand a little bit what you're saying, just because it's certain things that wives and girlfriends have that are different, and I feel like in my position right now, I'm doing girlfriend things, and I'm not doing it as much because I feel like that's when you get to that position of being a wife. Not treating I'm not treating my man like he's a child, but like, dang, I gotta cook for him when we get home because you know. Sometimes like right now, sometimes I cook because I'm hungry, and then I remember that he in the house. I'll be like, all right, I gotta cook for him too, you know. But when I get in that position of being a wife, I'll be like, all right, well, I gotta cook for both of us. I'm not just gonna cook for myself. I gotta cook for both of us.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I feel like whoever's home first needs to cook because at the end of the day, we're both adults. So if you get home first, you cooking. Don't wait for me to come home and cook.
Hopefully he can cook.
That's how I feel about gender roles too. I feel like you have to play to each other's strength. Do what works for you. Like, it doesn't have to be like, because you're the woman, you need to do X,
and if you
Y,
can't cook, you know how to order a meal. Order that meal.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it because it's like I'm a woman. I just feel like, you know, while I cook, you can do other things or something like that. I'll trust you. I'll trust you to do other things, but I'll cook because I don't know if I trust you to cook. You know.
Well, we really need to wrap up today's episode. Yeah, it was a really intense.
Yeah.
I know Faith, and Faith says a lot of things every Sunday outside of this. But we're going to have some words after this.
We're going to have a whole little discussion after this.
I definitely know a sound man, you know, behind the scene people are itching.
Yeah.
They are itching right now.
For whatever reason.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
We really appreciate all your comments and all your support. And this is almost the last of the season.
Yeah.
We're very close to ending the first season. We
had a good run.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
And as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Do
I'll practice that at home.
Okay, I do that every week though. Stole my line.
I want to do this time because you always do it. So I want to switch it up a little bit.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just feeling myself today.
Yeah, and tell us how you feel about this. How you feel about this topic. This topic is like really
intense,
and it's something that, you know, it's on everyone's mind, even if you don't think it's on your mind. It's on your mind. It's in the back of your head or whatever. But tell us how you feel about it. Tell us what your beliefs are.
I know when your man leaves his shoes at the door, you're like, oh my goodness. Men don't know how to clean up.
When he keeps the cabinet door open.
Or the toilet seat up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the toilet seat is driving me
Exactly.
crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't care about the toilet seat because I always squat anyway sometimes.
It drives me insane.
I care about the toilet seat.
I
And when he doesn't close the tap all the way, like, baby, do you
tap.
not know how to close the
like,
tap?
comment, subscribe.
Oh, yeah, like, comment, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Bye.